You know, in 2022, that Black women spent more than $8 billion on beauty. And in 2023, they spent 9.4 billion, almost $10 billion on beauty. And I think sometimes it's so easy for us as salon professionals to get caught in, what's going on, what the latest trends are, what's, wrong with the industry. But we are literally part of a multi-billion-dollar industry. And I am honored to be here today with someone who gets it. And it's like she is a dynamo, glamour on the go, and having bi-coastal salons on the East Coast and the West Coast. She is a legend in the industry, and her name is Muffen Moses. I'm going to bring her up in just 1 second. And my name is Miki Wright. I want to welcome you to Beauty Superstars Talk. This is your backstage pass to experts in beauty. And I'm Miki Wright. I'm with beautysuperstars.com, and we are excited to be here. So, hi, Muffen.
Hi, Mickey.
How are you?
I am wonderful. I am so happy to be here today.
Yeah, well, I am so excited for us to have this conversation. And I always love finding out like how do people get into the industry, how they get started. So share with us, your background with that.
Oh my goodness. I hate talking about myself.
Well, this whole hour is going to be about you. So.
I know. All right. So let's start with first off, I've been loving hair since I was a very little girl. I used to pretend sitting on my bed that had a whole hair salon. I'm doing everybody's hair, my Barbie dolls. When they had that green ultra sheen grease, I used to put it on their hair and be like, "Oh man, their hair is green by accident." And my mom was a hairstylist, so I grew up in the salon with her. Always, she was always working. Always had a fabulous business. Always busy, and she used to cook our dinner. She had a little kitchen in the back. She used to cook our dinner. We sat there. We did our homework. We ate dinner. We laid across the bench and went to sleep until she finished, and then we went home.
Okay.
That was my life as a little girl. So when I turned about 11, 12, she opened up a salon. The salon's name was Bridgette's Boutique, which is my middle name. So she named the salon after me. She never was the person that wanted her name. She said in lights. She didn't like that. So I used to sit at the desk and answer the phone. I used to be like, "Hello, Bridget speaking." I thought I was doing something. But that's really how the whole industry, I was just born into the industry naturally. I just loved it. And I just couldn't wait to do hair. I remember being at home and my mother wasn't there, and I would sneak at like 10 and 11, put the straightening combs on the stove and straighten my hair. I had the most silkiest ponytails going to school. My mother didn't even know. She would be looking at me like, "How did your hair get so straight?" 12 years old, I was doing my own relaxers. It was crazy. Couldn't wait till I turned 16. I went directly to beauty school.
Nice.
Did that at night from high school, and that's where my career began. By the time I was 18, I had my first license, and then I had my junior's instructor's license at 18 years old.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, well, that's phenomenal. It's like we definitely have that in common. It's like my mom, started school when I was an infant, and my sister's in the industry as well. But yeah, I call her my secret weapon because it's like I learned so much from her. And unlike you, I had no idea I was going to go into it. So it's really wild, but I'm grateful I got to interview her. But share with us, a tip or two. And I know there are many that you may have learned from her.
Oh man, the first thing I remember her ever telling me about the industry was never, from when I was 16, 17 years old, never do your friends and family's hair for free. She said, "Do not start that."
You might want to repeat that. I think
do not
that again.
do your friends and family's hair for free. She told me that when I was 16, 17 years old. That was the first thing she told me about the industry. And the one thing I always remembered and I stood by, I lived by that. She never had to say it again. That was it.
Right. Got it. Okay.
That was the main thing. And then she always just said, you just always have to stay educated and, just always practice. And, those are the things. But her main thing was that free stuff. Do not do nobody's hair for free.
Right. Yeah, that's wonderful. So that's a good lesson to learn right off the bat. So if
yes.
Anybody already made that mistake, it's like
people are still making that mistake. Like it's really funny because I feel like people will come to you and want something free because you're their friend and family, but they will go to the next hairstylist and pay full price and not even think anything about it.
Right, right. Yep. You're absolutely right.
Mhm.
So you have had an incredible career. You're still having an incredible career, 40 years. So
Yes,
congratulations.
thank you.
Well, and it's like, like 40 where, like, it's like you definitely look fabulous for the
Thank you. When I tell people that, they be like 40 years. Like, what? How old are you?
right, right. Yeah, so that's incredible. So it's like you have been doing this straight through. It's like you've had a salon in Boston, which is where you're from. Is that right?
Yes. I
Okay.
grew up in working first in my mother's salons. So
Uh-huh.
I kind of took over where my mother left off.
Okay.
She went teaching. She went into the school system teaching vocation cosmetology to the vocational schools, and
Mm.
then she wasn't in the salon as much full time anymore. So I ended up taking over her salon and then opening up like 6 doors down, just a bigger salon. But I think my thing was I wanted to open a salon that I opened because I feel like she still had like a hold on me as long as I was in her original salon. So I was like, oh, I know how to fix this. I'm gonna move 6 doors down, close this down, and open up my salon, and she can't say nothing to me anymore.
Okay. Did that work?
It did work. It did
Okay.
work. She didn't say nothing. She was just like, whatever.
Sometimes moms don't pay that any attention. So.
No. I was like, you can't tell me nothing now. But I always, it's because of my mother who I am today. It's like I give a lot to her. Like I wanted to follow in her footsteps. She was an educator. She was a technician for Johnson Products. I remember when I was like 11, 12 years old, I used to go to the shows with her. I used to sit at the table and sell Ultra Sheen products.
Okay.
And from then, I knew I was a good salesperson. I used to sell the products for her. She would be teaching a class, and that's just where I was in the industry from a little girl. So I was able to experience even that portion of the industry from being very young. So I knew I wanted to be a teacher. I knew I wanted to do that. So I was an educator from 18, 19 years old. I was the youngest one in Massachusetts for a very long time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was your experience like going to the shows, since you started so young?
I just was excited to stand behind the table and sell. I thought I was a big shot because I was a
Okay.
little girl, but everybody was coming to me and they were saying I was cute and they was buying the products. I think they stuck me behind the table because it made people buy more products. Now that I think about it, I'm like, you didn't say I was cute. Yeah, you stay over there and you can just tell people about the product. But I knew the product so well, and
Right.
those were the products. We was a Johnson product salon, and that's what I grew up using Ultra Sheen, Bantu, Precise. Those you couldn't tell me nothing about those relaxers, and that's all I used in my hair. That's all I used. So I knew the products well to sit there and sell the products.
Right, right. And that sounds like a key piece to being able to sell anything is
Yep.
for the product knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess now it's like, I don't know, it's like if people are diving into the products as deep.
I don't know. It's
No.
weird. I think like all someone has to do now is say, use this, it's good. And people go, okay. I do think it's that. Like it's not like I feel like people don't even care so much as they used to. We pride ourselves on using professional products growing up and in the salon, professional relaxers and professional products and having a distributor. I don't know if it's the same for everybody anymore. I know the older seasoned stylists still who has always done it still has their distributors but I'm wondering if like the newer stylists are even that keen on using professional products. Like it's mandatory. We have to use a professional product. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Right. Right.
Because now everybody Googles everything. And if Google says it's okay, then it's okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, Google don't know what they're talking about all the time. You know?
Right, right. Yeah, it's like that's one reason we need the professionals, to do some studies and do some research and really understand all the textures of hair as well as, what product is going to be a best fit for the individual. So
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. Well, you share with us how you opened your salon. How did you become a bi-coastal salon? Was you have a
Yeah,
salon?
that was years and years and years and years later. So of course, I've been in Boston, we've been in business in Boston when I took over the salon, we had already been in the business for 30 years. So
Wow.
my mom had already been in business for 30 years when I took over and just kept going. It didn't take me to go to LA until the last 2015, once I met my husband who's from LA. And then I was like, okay, I could do this, but I don't know how. But trying to come out here and navigate a business out here, I sat back for a while. I was like, I don't know about that. So for a few years, I didn't really do much of anything. I would do this is when I came familiar with the day rental. I knew nothing about day rental. It was unheard of in Boston. Nobody wasn't renting for a day. You rent for a week or that was it. And when I came out here, I learned about the day rental thing, and it was so big out here. And I guess it was because a lot of people traveled to LA and they would just need a spot to rent for like a day or two. So I came out here, seeing how that worked. And I'm like, man, I'm taking this back to Boston. Furniture for a day. But I would rent for a day and, do a client here and there, try to, once I introduce myself to people or people would see me or they'll see my hair, I'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm a hairstylist. I would get a client here and there like that. And I would just work in the salon, but I still wasn't really having my feet wet. I was just trying to feel it out. And then I was kind of being lazy. I felt like after 30 years, it was my first time taking a whole week off. Like I didn't have to work. So I was like, man, this feels good too. So I kind of caught up in that. I didn't know if I just liked working 2 weeks a month. So I ended up working only 2 weeks a month when I went to Boston. And then I kind of structured it like taking 4 weeks of clients and push them into 2 weeks.
Wow. Okay.
And realizing that I could do that without even really losing money. So I was like, man, I could work really hard for 2 weeks and then I could just chill for 2 weeks. So that was kind of how it started.
Okay. So sounds like you like that for a little bit anyway.
And I'm still doing that. It's crazy because even all these years later, I don't really feel like at first I had really put in a lot of effort to make things really work in LA like I should. I think I had like all the fears, all this. Like I had a salon, my first salon in LA. It was a guy who owned the salon for 50 years. He was 80 years old when he retired. And when he retired, we got the salon and there was 3 stylists in the salon. So I was like, okay, I'll take the salon that already has 3 stylists. Let me see if I can make it work, blah, blah. So the stylist, what impressed me was the stylist that had been in the same salon for 30 years.
Oh, wow.
I've never met stylists that stayed in the same salon as booth rental or commissioner or whatever for 25 to 30 years and never left. And all these stylists have been in there that long.
Wow.
One stylist was 78 years old. One stylist was 76. I couldn't believe these guys still had tons of clients coming through the door, little old women saying they've been coming to the same salon for 40 years. It was amazing. So I learned a lot when I came out here and learning the difference on how the industry worked in another city. Like the one thing I learned was people came with their own hair relaxers, colors, string, thread. I was like, y'all bring your own stuff to the salon. So when I would get a clientele and I would be like, oh, do you want a color? Like the color you're gray? They'd be like, sure. Do you want me to go across the street and get it? And I'd be like, no, like I'm a professional. I have products. But that was how it worked out here.
Wow. Yeah, that's a big difference.
I was like, the big difference. I was like, man, this is different, That was like my first experience coming out here. And then learning how people are different. Like my clients in Boston, it's like clockwork. They're going to come every 2 weeks to get their hair done. They don't miss their appointments. Out here, they could get a weave and be like, I'll be seeing you in like 6 months. Right. So it's hard for me to digest, like, how do you build a clientele like this when the people are not coming back on a regular basis? That was always my struggle here because people, they just wasn't the same. It was like, man, how do I try to get these people to understand they need to get their hair done on a regular basis to be able to build that solid foundation, So that was like a thing for me. And I was like, this is different. So I kind of still focus more on Boston because I know when I went to Boston, it's guaranteed. I'm going to go there, I'm going to work 15 hours every single day while I'm there. I'm going to make my money and come back to LA and just lay down on the beach for a little bit.
Okay. Doesn't sound like a bad life.
No, right? I think it was pretty good. I'm trying to think if that's what I really want to do back again. I don't know.
So tell us about your operation out there now.
Okay, so I moved when COVID happened. I closed the first salon down. As
Mhm.
everyone probably know, with COVID, LA was probably open maybe 5 or 6 weeks for the entire year. They opened up for a couple weeks, they shut back down again. It was horrible out here for the businesses.
Mhm.
So I had a chance to move downtown LA into a building where my son was, where he has his business at. And he was like, "You should just move down here." And I went and looked at the space. It was all white, had a nice window. I was like, "Man, this is a nice space." And the rent was cheaper, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, this will be pretty good. And it was still the middle of COVID. And I was like, this is cool. So I ended up taking that space. So I wasn't really closed long. I closed one and moved right into a new space within like a week or so. So it was, simultaneously.
Mhm.
And I'm still in the same building. I moved to a bigger location in the building.
Wow.
And just last year of 2022, I moved into the bigger space. And what happened was last year, everything that I was really honestly planning to do with the space kind of came to a halt because I had multiple deaths in my family. So it was like the beginning of the year, I lost my sister. Then, like a couple of months later, I had got hit by a truck in the crosswalk. So that messed
Mhm.
me up. And
Oh,
then, like a month later, my niece got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And then that was like a whole downhill, really quickly effect. So my year last year was like probably one of the worst years in my life. It was just everything was like just all over the place, just confusing. And you're trying to keep your businesses going. But you have all, it was just so much. I don't even know till this day, I can't even say how I made it through
right.
last year. It was by God, only the grace of God that my businesses were still standing. I was able to make it through because I really can't even explain really what happened. So everything from 2022, which were my plans for 2023, kind of didn't happen the way I needed them to happen. So now going into 2024, I'm trying to regroup everything, get everything back going, the way I need to in this new space. So I have like a whole new space basically. I'm open. I'm trying to get stylists in there now. I'm looking at doing a program for students. They have this thing now where you can actually bring the students into your salon and train them. Instead of them being actual school, they'll be in a salon. So I'm trying to work those kinks out. So in this location, I have like, it's kind of like a big giant area and then like two suites in the back. So I'm doing a hair store. So I have a hair store in there as well.
Okay.
And, just trying to figure it out and trying to get it all together again now. It's kind of like starting from scratch. Like, okay, let's get this back together now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, definitely my condolences with your sister and
Yeah, so last year was terrible. So I mean, and I'm like, and everybody would be like, "Well, you wear it well." I'm like, we're built. I feel a certain way that we lose somebody, but at the same day, you're thinking like, well, the bills certainly don't stop. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? So you're trying to still manage. You're still trying, and I thank God that I have like some of the best clients in the world that are like my family. They understood everything that was going on. They was there for me. They showed up when I was like, well, I only can work this much. They was there when I had the car accident. I really couldn't work a lot. I mean, I got physically hit by a pickup truck, so
Oh my
it
God.
kind of knocked me down from working. I only could do a little bit at a time for like a few months. So it was just like, it was just, they were great with that,
Mhm.
and that's the one thing that I have survived all these years is because of my clients.
Right.
People, we say we do a lot, but we wouldn't be really who we are without the clientele that we have as well. Too, I have clients that I've had for over 30 years
Wow.
that still come on. They do not miss appointments every
Right.
other week. So that was like my year last year, and then now this year I'm just regrouping and getting everything back on track. Honestly,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you've definitely been through a lot, and
yeah.
the I think it's important to touch on it. So I appreciate you,
Hmm.
your willingness to share and everything, just because, like you say, life doesn't stop. Life happens to all of us. So it's
Yeah.
like we have to find ways to, you
Keep
know,
going.
yeah,
From the outside, people can look like, well, you look like you're doing fine. I'd be like, yeah, you look like it. It's kind of camouflage because you still have to try to make it happen. You
right,
still got to try to go to work. You still got to survive. You know what I mean? So,
right,
you're doing that, but it's never easy on the inside of what someone can't even imagine while I'm standing there doing here, what's going through my brain.
right, right. Yeah. 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 So I, send my prayers for you. It's like definitely, and physical healing is never easy.
Easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
But I also thank God, and God has been the strength for me, my family,
mhm.
and all of my family are entrepreneurs. So we all have businesses. So last year was like a terrible time for like all of us and trying to regroup and still save our businesses and keep it moving. So it was definitely challenging, but we all are, making strides this year to get back on track. Everybody's doing as well as they can be doing,
Mhm.
and that's where we're at right now. But I
Right.
like to tell people, what you always see is not what you never know what a person is going through on the inside. Even though they might still look fabulous, they might do this, but that doesn't mean that everything is good on the inside.
Right. Right. And that's a good tip for us to keep in mind with clients as well. It's like
Yeah,
I hear so much kind of client bashing, if you will, online,
yeah.
and it's like, oh well, this person did that and they said that, and a lot of times we just don't know what people are
We're
going.
going through exactly. We don't know. So
Yeah.
that is like you're one. I see the same things on Facebook, and I'd be like, wow, they're always talking about the clients. And sometimes when you do talk to clients, you do find out sometimes they was going through something at that moment, especially if they act out of character. If they've been your client
Mhm.
for a long time and they act a little strange or seem like they have an attitude or whatever, me myself, I'll pull back, give it a few days, and I'll call them back and say, is everything okay? Because sometimes it's like that's not usually how they act.
Right.
They go online real quick and just start talking about the clients and this, that, and another. But I
Mhm.
think, like you say, people have to be a little bit. We have to always be a little bit more professional and just see what's really going on. Every client's not meant for. Some clients do trip out, and you need to get rid of them. If that's the case, that
Mhm.
let that be the case. But sometimes we still
Right.
have to maintain a little professionalism if we want to maintain our businesses as well too.
Yeah, yeah. It's like the people we serve come in all different shapes, sizes, attitudes,
Exactly.
backgrounds,
Yeah.
everything. And we are the ones that need to be a little,
Yeah,
not
some of the hairstylists have attitudes too, Mickey. You know
free.
that. Walk in, they having a bad day. They got attitudes. They're not being happy with the clients, and then they expect the clients to just, be the same person when you're giving off that energy too. So we have to, like everything I went through last year. When people came into the salon, they wouldn't know how I was feeling because I try not to bring that energy into the business. That day, I say, okay, I'm gonna go to work today. I try to hold it in and just be my best self at work. And if we're really having a bad time, I think it's best for sometimes for us to take that day off too. We have the right to say, call out. Like, I can't go in today. I'm not in a good mood. I'm not feeling good. This, that, and other. I think that hurts our business as well when
Mhm.
we try to go to work but we have a nasty attitude. Sometimes you need to just call out. People don't think we can call out, but we can, you
Yeah,
know,
a mental health day.
a mental health day. We all need it sometimes.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, and if you know you need it, take it. And
Yeah.
like you feel like, oh, I'm gonna miss this money. Oh, I'm gonna, disappoint so and so who wants to get done and all of that. But
Right.
it's like you do have to refill your cup.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't just give, give, and give, and especially when you've already been depleted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's really spot on. So I want to welcome, I think we've got a couple folks that are joining us, and I think I see a comment. So tell us hello. I see Ebony Eyes Harris. Great afternoon, beauty superstars. It's like, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you being here. And if you guys who are watching have any questions or anything for Muffin, to please, feel free to drop those in. Ebony Eyes, she's already changed it so that we can see her name. If you'd like for us to see your name on StreamYard, it's like there's a little message right at the bottom where you can let us, be able to see your name. You give them permission, and if you don't want to do that, that's cool too. But we'd love to welcome you. So thank you guys. And with your business in Boston, like you are busy, but you have team members. Is that
Well, what I did during COVID, well, what I did right before COVID, not that I even knew COVID was going to happen, but I
okay?
had a I had a big salon with about 8 stylists.
Uh-huh.
And with the going back and forth to LA, it kind of, after so many years, it got to be like, all right, this is enough. Like, one thing about hairstyles, some of them, it can be pettiness going on. It could just be a lot of things going on. And every time I was gone, it was like the phone calls, the this, the that, whatever. And even though the salon was doing well, everybody was making money, but for me, it starts being like, okay, do I want to deal with this? So I kind of came to a conclusion, like, I don't want to do this no more. I want to just come to Boston, do my clients, and go home. Like that, for the first time in 30 years, that was my decision. So I had 2 buildings. I shut down one building. I kept one, remodeled it, kept 2 assistants. And I said, this is what I'm going to do. I just need 2 assistants, and I'm just going to work on my clients, and I'm going to close my door when I'm not here. That leaves so much stress off my back when I came to LA. I didn't have to think about Boston. I didn't have to worry about a phone call. And that happened the end of 2019. Like I made that decision that outside. Going into 2020, I opened up. It was like a refresh, like a grand opening, just Muffin's private space. It was just one whole side of the salon, my assistants. And then boom, COVID happened in March. And I said, that was the best decision I ever made, because now I would have been responsible for all these commissioned stylists I had. I had buffers. I was happy that I made that decision. It was perfect timing.
Right.
So I was happy, and then I came home for COVID, and I remember Boston opened up on Memorial Day weekend. It was like, since I mentioned, like, so we was only closed from March till May. And I remember the clients was calling me. They said it's gonna open up. So I told my husband, "Oh, Boston's opening up. I'm out of here." He was like, and I was like, "I'm out. I'm going to Boston. I'll be there for 3 weeks." I went and prepared the salon with all the touch list this and touch list that, and got everything ready. I did a big Zoom before I left with like about 100 clients on, and I said, "This is what's going to be happening when I come back. This is going to be the rules. These are going to be the new prices." Everything is changing. Prices went up, this, and that. Like everything changed. And my clients was like, we're there. They booked out. I remember coming back, COVID, I was like at least at 95% of my clientele from day one.
Wow.
I stayed in Boston for 3 weeks straight, caught everybody up from there. You know, everybody's hair was crazy from COVID. Caught everybody up, got them back on track.
Right.
Then I came back and went back to my every other week. And yeah, COVID for me, it wasn't that terrible. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty good. Clients were there. A lot of the senior citizens, the older clients, or anyone who had maybe like any type of issues, they were the only ones that didn't come back right away, which was fine. I understood that, you know, they was a little nervous. No, at that point, no one really didn't know or understand what was going on. But I'll tell you, my favorite part of COVID was me flying. It was no one on the plane. I could stretch out on the whole seat. I mean, the planes was empty. It'd be like 10 people on a plane. It was the best flying time ever. And yeah, I went back and forth. I never stopped from when we opened, and that was that. And then like the next year, 2022, one of my friends, stylist, she's a good friend of mine. She had worked for me twice prior before, but she just couldn't find a salon that wanted her. You know, she had a good vibe with. And the last, she was like, Muffen, I was like, just come on back home, girl. Because I was there by myself, and I know me and her get along good. So I was like, if I let anybody else come in, they have to be booth rental. I don't want no headache. And just someone that's not going to bother me. And she's been there since 2022. So it's just the 2 of us.
Okay.
And it is glorious. And yeah, I'm fine. So, you know, I have the salon, and then I opened up the body contouring business, which is upstairs from my salon. So between the 2 businesses, I am pretty busy anyway when I'm in Boston, you know. So that business, I do have a team of employees.
Okay.
So the salon, it's just me and my other stylists. Yeah.
Okay. But for the body sculpting, you have.
Yes, I have employees. Yeah.
Okay. So how did you get into that? I think that's so you know, fascinating as a service, and then it's needed.
You know, I was at Nikki Smith's SOS conference in Vegas. I think it was 2018, maybe. I'm not sure. It was 2018, and it was introduced at that show. I forget the woman's name who introduced it, but when she talked about it, she was like, "Yeah, the machine is $4,000, $8,000." I'm like, "Dang." You know what I'm saying? Like $15,000. I'm like, man, these are costly things to be starting. But I never forgot it. I went home. I thought about it. Never forgot it. And I was like, man, that would be something good to do. And I thought about doing it in LA first because I was still trying to figure out what do I want to do in LA. I don't know what I want to do. At this time, I was like not having a salon like that. I was like, so then I was gonna move into another salon. I had a room that I could have did body contouring and a salon. At that business, that building had fell through. So then I ended up moving downtown. So I was like, in the building, of another little suite opened up on my same floor. I was like, I'm about to do body. It just popped in my head like that. I'm going to do body contouring in here. And I just did it. I just got the machines. I had one of my friends who was already doing it help me get my stuff together. And that was that. I just said to my husband, I'm going to open up Marty school. He was just like, huh? I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna do it. And then I just did it. But then what happened was people started seeing it, and then Boston was like, wait a minute, what about us? Like,
right.
What are you doing? So then what I did a trial error in Boston in my salon. I broke off a space in my dry room, put a bed, put up a curtain, and I said, I'm gonna do 10 people for the summer, see how it goes. I did 10 people, all 10 people anxious, booked right away. And it was the space, it was nothing but God that this space opened up directly above my salon. Okay. I said, I am opening up fully a whole body. And I did that. And it was like amazing. And that is a great, when I say a great business, it almost made me be like, do I want to keep doing hair because the business is so great? But for me, I actually end up loving it because I feel like we take care of people in the hair salon. We love that look when we turn that person around and they got a whole new look and they feel good about themselves and we just made their day. It's the same thing, but now we're just working on their bodies, being able to give a person an outlet that may be overweight, never knew where she could go, feels embarrassed in front of their husbands or friends or whatever, but now they have someone that they can go to, that they can confide in and feel comfortable with and get help at the same time. So that is the part that I actually really love about the whole thing. And then from there, I was listening at women sitting in the consultations, and I'm looking at women there. Every woman who sat on the couch had high blood pressure. Like, what is going on? So that gave me the thing to develop my tea, my melt detox. Okay. So the melt detox tea. So I'm like, I'm gonna get some that will help with the weight loss and all that, and then helps with high blood pressure, diabetes, all the stuff. Again, just trying to help the women. Right. Always at the end of the day, we got trying to help our people look their very best and feel very good about themselves. So that's really how that all started. But the deeper I got into it and the more educated I became, you know us, I'm gonna go do all the education now. Right. It was like, oh, this is cool. This is interesting. And just learning more and more about how I can really help people. And then how I can tie it in with the hair industry, learning how to do the lymphatic drainage massages, which also helps promote great healthy hair and healthy bodies and stuff like that. So being able to tie it all in, that's basically how it all came together.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. And, like I started the show with, there's such opportunity in the world of beauty. And sometimes we get tunnel vision. Yeah. We only see this one path. So it's like, I love that you have, the hair services, you've got the body services, you got, like you said, the detox melt tea, you've got other products that we'll talk about as well. But I think it just really helps to see a bigger picture or a bigger vision of what's possible. And we've got some great comments here coming too. So Natasha Stars says being able to pivot is so important in business. And yeah, it definitely is. And let's see, Latanya Williams says, how is training for contouring? So you'll have to tell us about, if there's a way to find out. I was looking at the pictures from the event I was at with you and Nikki Smith and the young lady who was doing the body sculpting. Yes. And I can see her, but I can't call her name either.
Right.
And Ebony Eyes says this is awesome and amazing. So thank you.
Thank you.
An overall body beauty experience. Yeah. We love that. And you cannot limit yourself. Yeah. Yep. It's like the sky is the limit.
The sky is the limit. And it's like, I think, like you said, Miki, when you get into that tunnel vision is where a lot of us get stuck. And then it's like, oh, I'm not doing well. But if we have multiple streams of income, it kind of bounces off each other. And sometimes it can get difficult because you can have a stream of income that can slow down. One can slow down, one can speed up. They can all slow down at a certain time, just depending on the year. You just never know.
Right.
And I feel like in this day and age, we don't know, Miki. Strange things are happening these days. We used to be able to guess our business and know our business, know how much money we was gonna make. But I feel like things are so different now with social media. You got clients now that's not loyal. They bounce from one person to whoever's available. I've never seen people go on Facebook and say, who's available for a silk press today? Like, you don't even care who's doing your hair. You just need a silk press. Like, so we never had that for years. It was everyone was loyal. I remember friends wouldn't even touch a client like, you're Muffin's client. I'm not doing your hair. Let me talk about, it used to be some type of respect amongst the stylists, and style and clients didn't just bounce around. So nowadays, I don't know.
Yeah, I think I read something somewhere. It was a post from, I guess, an influencer who was going to, I think maybe Atlanta. It may have been a different city, so forgive me if it wasn't. But she booked 4 appointments with 4 different people because she knows that people aren't going to show up. The stylists aren't going to show up.
Crazy.
And she had to go to down to the 3rd person before the person that, for them to show up and actually be able to get her service done. And I'm like, what? And
that's insane.
It's both sides, it's like
both sides. Yes, it is.
And we stopped. One of the things when I found those facts out because I was doing some research for our 6-figure breakthrough mastermind. Our topic this month is on increasing client loyalty and increasing profits. And it's like we somehow lost treating our clients like queens. Our Black female clients who are spending $8 billion to $10 billion a year on beauty. And we are just, whatever, sign in. I got 18 policies. I'm not shampooing your hair. It's like all of these things are not saying, come in and, let us be your person,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, it's true. And it's important because my thing that I used to always tell like the stylists that work for me or whomever I mentor, like if you had a client that came to you for 30, I have clients that come to me for 30 years.
Right.
You don't get comfortable with that client because they've been coming to you for 30 years. You don't get comfortable with a client because they're your friend. You don't get comfortable with that client. That client is a new client every single time they walk through the door. They're a new client. They're paying new money for a new service. And I think what people do is get comfortable with people who come. Oh, they come all the time. I can let them sit over there while I do this person's hair. No, that's not what we do. You treat everybody the same every single time. And it's not like it was back in the day. People will leave and go find another hairstylist and not even get as great a service, but they will not deal with you in that BS. They don't deal with that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like people have to really be on guard of, these are my clients. These are my clients for today. You treat everyone the same when they come in the door. You're offering them snacks, coffee, whatever. Everyone's treated the same way, and you get them in and out the door.
Right.
I think that's another thing where we're falling short, which I thought COVID kind of taught everybody how to organize their day. And everyone seemed like they went right back to having 10 or 15 clients just sitting there all day long, which I still don't understand. And why do we want to work like that? It doesn't make any sense to me because it doesn't make you have any more money than spreading them same 10 people out throughout the day, right?
Absolutely. That's that training we got. In and out.
Yep, in and out. And I mean, I remember back in the day, we used to have clients. I would have so many clients just in the salon, it would be ridiculous. But that's what we did back in the day. It was fun for the people to just hang out in the hair salon, and that's what we did back then. But this microwave generation is not like that. People need to be in and out. And I want you in and out because I don't even want to look at you that long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Plus, you should be counting your ducats too. Like the longer you got this person in the salon, you're losing money. The faster you get people in and stay on time, you're making all of your money. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
I just think I don't know what's going on these day and age. I talk to stylists all the time. They're scared to charge. They've got people waiting around. I just don't understand it. I don't.
Yeah, we've got a lot of great comments here, so I'm gonna put some of those up. But it's like I totally agree with you, and
Mhm.
I used, I teach the business side of it, and I'm like,
I know you hear it all the time.
don't get paid till she leaves. It's like, why not get her in and out, then she's paid, and you're on to the next person. It's like keeping her sitting there. It's like
It
y'all
doesn't make any
just
sense.
hanging out. So
Exactly.
exactly. So, Nastasia, let me make sure I get it right. Star, she says she finds the biggest problem with stylists retaining clients is their consistency. Also, the younger stylists think they're supposed to do hair when they feel like it. Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and I've said, many times that there is less loyalty than there
Yeah.
was, in the
Mhm.
world. And it's like, you've got things like Instagram where things are speeding past you. It's like, oh, that's a cute style. That's a cute style. Who did that? Maybe I'll go to them. But I think the reality of it is that many people are looking for a reason to be loyal, that there is no reason to be loyal if you're not going to be there,
Right.
or if you're not going to give them a full consultation with professional recommendations when they come in, if you're not going to, do some of the things to keep them coming back, then why would they come back?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true.
And Teresa says, I believe it's because they don't understand the entire concept of how that relates to them. It's economics. Hey, we don't get that in beauty school all the time. That's true. That's true. Part of why I do what I do. People also want to know you are dependable.
Hmm.
Yep. How about that?
The
Exactly.
one question I get asked is how am I able to maintain a clientele not being in Boston? And I tell everybody you can have any type of schedule you want to. You just have to be consistent with that schedule.
Uh-huh.
You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? My clients know I'm coming.
Right.
The only way I wouldn't come is if I could not come. But
Right.
I'm coming every other week. I am there. I know I send out a monthly schedule with what days I'm there, what time I'm working. This is the
Okay.
thing. You know what I'm saying? In the
Right.
beginning of the month, my entire month is booked. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
the thing about it is I'm consistent.
Right.
I don't play around when I get to work. Like
Right.
I'm there. Like I'm there. I get people in and out the door. They get treated fabulous. It's the whole nine. So it's like for me to be able to be a 100% bi-coastal person and be able to come to work and still have a great clientele and have people waiting to get into my chair, still new people waiting. And I tell them I said, well, I'm not here every other week. I'm only here every other week. They're like, I don't care. I don't care. I'm waiting to get
Right.
into the chair. And then as soon as I do their hair, they will automatically book and now they become part of that schedule.
Right.
So to me, it's like for me to maintain is because of consistency and excellence. It's like you basically have to have consistency on your timing, showing up, being there, always being reliable, but you
Mhm.
also have to have your skill set on point. Like you have to maintain, and if you don't know, you need to know, which is a whole nother thing. And then being able to charge, like people want to charge, but their skills are not a part to you to charge. So it's kind of like you need to have everything in place. I do say to people, part of my price is because I do fly here I fly. Me to fly to Boston is a lot. You know what I mean? I don't have to fly to Boston. I don't have to. I could stay at home and just do nothing if that's what I choose to do. I don't choose to do that, but I could. But I choose to come and deal with my clients. I didn't choose to leave them just because I got married and I had that option to come to LA and stay. But I feel like these have been my clients for over 30 plus years. I
Mhm.
wouldn't be who I am without them. And
Right.
I have a sense of loyalty to them as well, not
Mhm.
just walk away from them. And I know every day, every year they get nervous, like, I know it's coming one of these days. And I said, well, as long as God gives me the strength and I can take care of myself and I can continue doing what I'm doing, which is what I love, I will be there some shape, form, and fashion. I don't know how the next couple of years go. We are getting older, but as of right now, this is what it is. But I'm going to be loyal till whenever. You know what I mean? And that's just one way of definitely maintaining a clientele. You know what I'm saying? So like I talk to stylists all the time that's in cities, and they're there every single day and do not have clientele. So I'm like, I don't understand, and trying to help them or figure out what is going on with them of why they don't have clientele. What can we change? What can we fix? Because it always starts with us. I don't care. The reason why we don't have a clientele, we better look in the mirror first. Let's not blame the clients. Let's blame what we're doing. Like Miki said, you have to fix yourself first and be able to treat your clients like queens so that they have a reason to keep coming back. If we don't do that, why are they coming back? If you're late every day, you got to go pick up the kids from school, you're at the mall, you're doing this, you're doing that, you got everything to do, you're talking, you're eating while you can't, you're stopping to talk while you're doing the clients, you can't do, people don't want to deal with all that.
Right.
You know? They don't want to deal with it.
You hit some nails on the head there.
Right? Okay, so let's be real. If you want consistency and longevity in this business.
Yeah, because it is at the end of the day a business.
It's a business.
We love what we do, but it's like it's our livelihood. Yeah.
But I think, Miki, you know, a lot of people, we've all made mistakes in the past at some point in time where we wasn't owning it on the business side of being a stylist. We never was taught the business side strong enough. We didn't go to business school. We went to beauty school, came out, went to the salons, do hair, but really wasn't owning on the business side of it. So we've made mistakes along the way. Some people are still making mistakes up until COVID. But I feel like COVID should have put everyone in their place as far as correcting any mistakes you made in business. Because when funds was coming out and help was there, people couldn't get the help because their businesses weren't structured properly. They wasn't paying their taxes. They wasn't doing this, but they want to say, oh, we can't get the money, but the other people can. No, we couldn't get the money because we weren't structured properly. We weren't paying taxes. We weren't doing a lot of things. Right. So I feel like if that didn't like kind of smack you to the ground and be like, now I need to get up and get myself together. And if you've been doing wrong for 20 years, it's okay. Because you could have popped up today and said, I'm about to stop paying my taxes. I'm about to get myself right and move on a good foot from moving forward. Everyone could have did that too. So I feel like right now it's no excuse for people not to be able to, like, taking classes, getting coaches like you, doing everything they possibly can to get their businesses in order. But you got to invest in yourself. And a lot of Black stylists, I'm sorry to say, they don't like to spend money to invest in themselves. And that's where we fall short.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. It's like, and you have, so much experience with businesses of all kinds. It's like you've got your retail business, you got your body business, the hair business, all of those. And it's like you can't continue to grow them without that investment.
Nope, you can't.
Yeah.
Well, we need education. We need it.
Yeah. And you're doing some training now, is that right?
Yes, I've stepped away from, I don't really need, and I'm not going to say I don't need, I don't want hairstylists to be like, oh, she thinks she's now. I don't really need any beauty hairstyling training. I'm pretty set with doing most of that. But as far as now, I'm focusing on business, more business stuff, business training, being a better leader, doing, things like that, learning how to be great in sales and marketing and, those things that, like I was telling Miki earlier, that I thought I was good at. But when you start taking classes, they show you like, nope, you're not good. You're not even an amateur yet. You start, and I don't know what you are, but you're not there yet. So now you take these classes, and then what do you want to be? Amateur, professional, or a master? And that's where it's funny because even with hair, Miki, people think they're great, and you're not. Right. Sometimes you can do that roller set better. Sometimes you can apply that relaxer better. You can learn how to do some color. Like I have my stylist in my salon. She's a great colorist. And I always tell her, I said, I'm not a colorist. I'm not a colorist. She'd be like, Muffen, you can color here. I say, I'm not a colorist. Okay, I can do a little bit. I can get over. I do enough, but I am not. I don't say I'm a colorist. That's not my a master at color. You know what I'm saying? I do enough. And I'm always bugging her, like, what do you think about this? She'd be like, Muffen, it looks good. You always saying that. I'd be like, I'm not. Like you gotta own what you are.
Right.
And I don't front. Like, I don't do this, I don't do that. I can do this, but I don't know about that. Let me ask someone. Let me call one of my coloring friends. I got a lot of them. I can pick up the phone and be like, what do you think about this?
Right.
But I feel like we have to own who we are. If we actually, what makes a great hairstylist or a business person is knowing where you fall short and going to get the help. You know, they say it's knowing if you it's between the two no's. If you don't know you can do this, then you need to know. So you need to go find out how to do this so you won't get the no's. It's like people are so afraid to say, if a person comes in the salon and wants a certain style, you know you don't do it. Why would you attempt to do it? And now it looks crazy, or you messed up the person's hair just for the money. Just say, I'm sorry, I don't specialize in short hair.
Right.
I can maybe recommend you to somebody else. Or I don't specialize. It's okay not to do something. And if it's something you want to learn how to do, then go take a class.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where we mess up too. Everyone wants to act like, and then this YouTube stuff is really a whole nother thing. They think they can go on YouTube, learn how to do something. It's not the same.
Right.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
You know?
As you were talking about putting together some hands-on classes, I think that
I think everybody needs hands-on classes again. Virtual is cool. We could do a lot of virtual classes. I do virtual classes, especially when it's like a business class or something like that. And we could do some virtual classes, but I feel like it's an intro to a hands-on class. It's like you could get some information, but it's nothing like learning how to section out the hair, applying the hair, doing this, like really learning how to do something hands-on. Like I have a six-figure class just showing people how to be able to make six figures working like only 3 or 4 days a week. But just changing your services to like extension services or things like that, where you don't have to work as hard, but you need to learn how to do the proper things. And you don't get that on social media, because social media is only going to give you, they might show you how to put the bead in. They're not showing you how to care for the hair, cut the hair, style the hair, how to shampoo the hair. They're not telling you all the back, and you see one little thing and you're like, oh, I can do this. No, that's not how it works.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And I think one of the other benefits with hands-on is that someone else can see you and see, it's like, no, your arm is, like in the wrong position. Your section's not really where you thought it was. It's like you really get that feedback that you would never get from, YouTube. You're definitely not going to get that. And even from a virtual, a teacher can see something, but they can't see
everything.
Yeah. So there's no replacement for it. There's such value in it, and you come back and, like you say, what you know when because you did it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, you got the hands-on experience and you build that muscle memory. So yeah, definitely. And oh boy, you guys are flowing here with these comments. To get as many up as possible. But tell us some of the logistics of working on two coasts. It's like, for a short time, I did 2 salons in the same city, and I said when I woke up and went to the wrong one on the wrong day, it would be.
Miki, you just saying that right there. Sometimes I wake up and don't know where I'm at. Like, honestly, because I can wake up and I'd be like, I first stop and I'd be like, first of all, where am I? Where am I supposed to be? What time is it? So even when I'm in Boston, dealing with the 2 businesses in Boston, it's crazy, because I wake up and I go, where am I supposed to be? What time am I supposed to be there? My brain is just like, oh my God. So my basic schedule in Boston is, I fly in. I'm always on a flight, normally every Sunday, back or forth. And I get in Boston on a Monday morning. I am in the salon. No, on Mondays and Tuesdays, I work completely in Marty scope, the whole full day. And then I started being like, well, we close sometime at 6 or 7, so I don't have anything to do. Maybe I'll just go to the salon and take a client in the evening. So I'll do a weave or something in the evening. So I started doing that. So then I wake up Tuesday through Friday mornings. I can start at Marty Scope at 5 a.m. So 5 a.m. till I say my last client's like, I'm done by 9, because I start in the salon at 10. And I'm in the salon from 10 till midnight or 1 a.m. I
Oh,
wake up, I sleep for like 3 hours, mostly every single day I'm in Boston. I'm up at 5, 6, I'm back at it again, Marty Scope, and then the salon. And then on Saturday mornings, I wake up at 4:30 in the morning and I go to the salon. I start working like 4:30, 5 o'clock. I do like maybe 6 to 8 people. I'm done by 8 o'clock, 8:30, and I'm going to Marty Scope to open up for 10. And then I work usually there till 5 or 6. And if I feel like doing a client Saturday evening, I'll do a client Saturday evening, and then I'm on a plane Sunday morning.
woo, I'm
That
tired of hearing it.
that is my schedule. And people see how you just said you're tired. People be like, I can't even listen to you no more because you just make me tired. But that is my schedule when I'm in Boston every other week.
Wow. Wow.
That is it. Yes.
That's a lot. So do you just pass out when you get back to California?
Yes, I need to. What's so funny is I came home Sunday and my usual routine is I get off the plane, we go to brunch, get some food. I come in the house, take a nice hot shower, drink some tea. And this past Sunday, I went to sleep by 2 o'clock. I didn't wake up till Monday morning at 7.
Okay.
I slept for 17 hours straight, and I don't normally do that. Like I'll
Okay.
get not that, but 17 hours. Now, last week was a little different because although I was working in Marty Scope and the salon, I had like maybe I made myself have a couple of hour break in my afternoons for me to go promote my cut party. So I have a cut party in
Right,
2 weeks.
right.
So I had to go out in the streets, drop off tickets, go see the salons, go pop in salons. So that was my other job last week. So I
Right.
was promoting the show, working at Marty Scope, working in the salon. And then my last thing was go to the parking lot at where we're having the event at, put flyers on all the cars at 1:30 in the morning, went and parked my car, was at the airport by 4:30, getting on my plane Sunday morning. Like that was my life last week. So that's probably why I slept for 17 hours.
Okay.
Yes. But the one thing about me, and everyone's not built like me, because people be like, I don't know how you could do it. I don't expect no one to really do what I do. I feel like a very unique individual that I can do a lot of things, and I thank God that I am built like this. But it's not always the most easiest task. It looks easy, but it's hard sometimes. You know what I mean? But I stay focused. I don't use the word tired nowhere near me when I'm in Boston and working like that. When I talk to my husband, I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna lay down and take a nap because that's just what it is. 3 to 4 hours and I'm back up. And that's
Wow.
like my schedule.
And with the time difference, it's like
Yeah,
that.
I don't even think my body understands the time difference. I think
Okay.
it doesn't know because I get up and I just go. And I can
Right.
come to LA and just go. So I don't even think my body knows where it's at.
Okay.
I don't. I'm like, it's probably like you're crazy. Like, what are you
Okay.
doing?
Yeah, I want to share a few of these comments before we wrap up, but we didn't get to hear about you doing the event. So it's like you have to stay and tell us.
Oh yes, because we're on tour. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, because you're doing, yeah, I forgot about that, a whole tour. So let's see here. We've got recap time. So thank you guys for all of your comments. We love this interaction. Latanya says she's found herself letting some clients go due to time. So I'm not sure exactly which part that.
Yeah.
I think Teresa says they forget it's a career, or Star says they forget it's a career. Yep. It really is. And we've got consistency keeps clients. Yes, indeed. It has to be all about the client. And education never ends. Let's see here. I'm just going to skip through some of them. Dedication. I think that sums it up.
Yeah. Dedication. That's what it is.
That is a lot. Why do you work that hard? Is there a payoff or goal you're working towards? So I don't know if we have time to answer all of that, but it's a good question.
I work that hard because that's what I love to do. First off, I love the beauty industry. I love working with my clients. I don't like disappointing my clients. I like to when I go to Boston, my goal is to make sure everybody's hair gets done that I am committed to and that's committed to me. They could have choices to go to any hairstyles, but they wait for me to come to Boston. They wait. And I am committed to them. And yes, the payoff is my pay. I like to get paid. I like to make money. And I don't fall short on that. I have a goal every week. each stylist should have a goal every day, every week. You should have a goal in your career of how much money you want to make, what you want to do, and how you plan your life out. And that is, I work that hard for a few reasons. Never want to disappoint my clients. I don't want to disappoint myself. And I want to have the lifestyle that I want to live.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way you can live the way you want to live is to make money. And whatever way you have to do it, that's what you have to do.
Got it. It's like, that's clear. But yeah,
that answers the question, Miki.
You're so right on with, you know, it's like having goals, having the things that you want, and all of that. It definitely makes a huge difference, and not just being. Oh, okay. And Tiffany just shares, seasoned hairstylists understand it's a relationship business. Absolutely,
it is. It's a relationship. Thank you. I like
that. Yeah, so tell us about the cut party. We've got to wrap everything up. It's like, I knew.
Right. So Cuts and Cocktails is my baby. So I don't know if anybody know that I was like the original person that created like a cut party. So it was created like years and years and years ago. I stopped doing. I remember doing the very first one. Kevin Kirk was there, but he was like, "Muff, do you think I could take it to Birmingham?" I'm like, "Yeah, take it to Birmingham." Takes it to Birmingham. Everyone starts doing cut parties down south. They're like all over the place. I had kind of fell off doing them. I was just doing my big competitions every year. And then I started seeing the cut parties, and people would invite me to do the cut parties, and I was doing them. But then I started realizing, I was like, they're losing the whole thing of the cut party. Cut party is supposed to be in a club. It's not supposed to be in a hall. It's not supposed to be. They're losing what a cut party is supposed to be. So I said, I'm going to bring back how cut parties are supposed to be, which brought back Cuts and Cocktails. So Cuts and Cocktails is a cut party that is done in a club. And so you have that club atmosphere where everybody's dancing, eating, partying, whatever, but you're entertained instead of go-go dances or someone singing, you're entertained by stylists and barbers that are cutting hair rapidly on stage, but it's purely for entertainment purposes. And it's so much fun. And I have always been a person, just to touch on that real quick, I have been doing hair shows for like the last 35 years. I've had a consistent show in Boston since 1991. We've always had the biggest hair shows. Everyone all over has been to my shows, the competitions, the educational events, everything I've done. And that's my other thing that I love to do. And I feel like bringing hair shows and cut parties is that entertainment part of the industry, which lets us let loose and have fun. I think we need to have fun and be able to be creative and be ourselves in a different light. And also it gives us a time to be able to network with each other, talk to each other. So the parties and the hair shows are networking events between the stylists, barbers, and the community, but it brings us all together under one roof just to have fun, get to know each other, support each other. Stylists, clients love to come out and see their stylists, entertain them on stage and be a fool on stage and see a different element of their stylist that's not seen in the salon. Right. So we are on tour this year for the first time. We're doing like a few different cities. So we are doing Boston on May 19th. We will be doing Dallas. My partner in Dallas is Miss Freddie J. So we're going to be doing a whole down thing. Everybody knows how the cowboy has the cowboy. That's going to be July 21st. I will be partnering with Tish Sutton. We will be doing Atlanta. We will be doing Nashville, Tennessee with Lish Love. And we will be doing, I don't know what city we're doing yet, but we will be doing one with Kevin Kirk. I don't know if he's trying to fill out Alabama. And we will, of course, be doing Los Angeles. So if you are stylists out there and you all are interested in getting to any of these cut parties, just let me know. And if you're interested in partnering with me so we can bring Cuts and Cocktails to your city, I would love to do that. And yeah, that's it. We are excited about the whole Cuts and Cocktails. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's like I know you're like the queen of these events and stuff.
I know, I love it. That's what they say. They say I'm the queen of cut. I can cut, I can cut like 8 heads in 5 minutes.
Okay. So tell us where we can follow you. Where can we contact you?
So you can follow me on Facebook. Everything with me is Muffen Moses. It's Muffen with an E, Moses, on Facebook, Instagram. You can also check out my website, which is Muffens World, MUFFENS world.com. The only thing that me and Miki didn't touch on was I did drop a new accessory line. So I am have an accessory line we dropped in December. So I have my own purses, scarves, and if you just go visit Muffin's World and immerse yourself into Muffin's World, you can see a lot of things that I have going on: classes, hair, products, accessories, whatever you want to know about me, get in touch with me. It is all there in that one space. So visit Muffin's World, guys, and see if you see something in there that you love, that you might want to purchase or whatever. But yeah, visit me.
Yeah, yeah. Talk about taking the beauty world by storm. No signs of slowing down anytime soon. So
Wow, can't slow down. No, 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 no.
yeah, well, I definitely want to take the time just to say thank you for taking the time to be with us today.
Oh my God, Miki, this was so much fun. It was great. I loved it. I love it. I was telling Miki earlier that I know Miki from how many years ago did you make that book, Miki? Was it 20 years?
2008, not quite, not quite.
Okay, 2008. How I know Miki is she created the book How to Be a Millionaire Stylist, How to Keep Clients, Make Clients, Do Clients. And I remember buying those books and I was saying she's the first person I know of that introduced the business aspect of the beauty industry to me. It was before social media, it was before webinars, it was before any of that. You had to get this book and follow this book and read this book. But that is how I know Miki, and I still have my books and I followed them. I went through them so many times back then, and I still have them, and they're still great books. I know she's going to revise them, but they are great. And yeah, Miki, that's what I just wanted to say. That's how long I've been knowing you've been true to the business side of this game. True to
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I love it, and I love seeing people thrive.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
like you said, a multi-billion-dollar industry, and we
That we need to all be getting a piece of.
doing well. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's like we're the ones spending, and it's like, are they able to spend in your business?
Right.
The questions, and so of course with Muffin's World, they are. So
Yes, they are. You just got to put the work in. As the lady asked me, why do I do this? I do it because this is what I do. But if you really want to be successful, this is how you're successful, by putting in the work, long hours, time consuming. But if that's what you want, that's what you'll do. If it's not what you want, then you won't do it. It's up to
yeah,
you.
yeah, and it's like I want to close. I think that's a fabulous place to close, but that it's not the the glamorous life all the time.
Yep, exactly.
Being a business owner,
No,
it's
it's
work.
not. Exactly.
Yeah. So we appreciate you. We appreciate
Thank
all your hard
you.
work and your
Thank you
commitment
so
to the
much.
industry. And we will see you next time. It's like, thank you guys for joining us for Beauty Superstars Talk. Definitely, I am hosting a level up and stop leaving money on the table webinar. It's a free webinar, and it'll be in a couple of weeks. You can sign up for it at beautysuperstars.com/level up, because from what I have seen, people in this industry, particularly hairstylists, are leaving at least $25,000 a year on the table. And I want to help you.
I'm coming to take that class. See how I could get $25,000 more.
I bet you'll add more. Yep, absolutely. So, yep. So come and join me, and I'll be back in 2 weeks, and we will do Beauty Superstars Talk all over again. It's like I should know my next guest, and we've been lining people up, so I'm excited. I might have to add more shows. So I appreciate you guys watching. Whether you're watching on a replay or whether you joined us here live, we appreciate you, and also with all the comments, it's just wonderful. And oh gosh, a couple more. I love to learn about partnering with Cuts and Cocktails for the Wake County area. Woo woo! Yeah, let's bring it to Raleigh.
Yes, thank you.
I was kind of thinking that, but she went and said it. So I hope to see a Beauty Superstars event. Yeah, it's like we have our networking mixer that's in this area now.
Okay.
Second Tuesday of each month. So
Oh,
months, we'd love to have you join us. And
that
so
would be fun.
yeah, and so anybody that's watching that's in the Raleigh-Durham area, in all over North Carolina, people have driven 2 and 3 hours to get to join us so that we can make the connections and
Right.
be in position to introduce other people to industry pros. So awesome. And she says this was so amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. So everybody have a great day. Enjoy, keep reaching for the stars, and I will see you soon.
Thank you. Bye.